Hey YouTube, Bisful Goats here. Yeah, I know it's been a while, sorry about that, but we've got a few scripted videos coming, so today I'm going to show you a deck profile of the deck I've been playing the last couple months in locals that did really well at my last event. Kashtira Fiendsmith, Diabellstar. Now, Kashtira Fiendsmith you've seen before with Joshua Schmidt and stuff, but the reason I added the Diabellstar engine to this deck was one, to give me more access to rank 7s, and two, to give me a negate, because with Malith ring around, there's a lot more Nibiru's in the format, which Kashtira is very notably weak to. So let's get into this, shall we? With the Kashtira engine, we have triple Fenrir, double Unicorn, double Wraithsoth, and one Kashtira Birth. So we'll start with Unicorn. This is the best Kashtira to get on the field if you're against a lot of hand traps. Because your opponent can hand trap you into oblivion, and you can just end on this, take their best card out of their extra deck. And since most decks are playing a lot of one-offs now, like Malice is playing one of each of their main monsters, at least the versions I'm seeing are, this card by itself can be crippling to a lot of decks. However, in this deck, I'd argue Fenrir is stronger because not only can you get you a Unicorn, combined with the Diabellstar card, this card can give you the best combo in the deck, which I'll explain when we get to the Diabellstar cards. And for our spell cards, 2 Wraithsoths to find these two and give them a bit of a power boost. And this card not only lets you bring back whichever one of these gets bashed or destroyed by your combo, but it also works at any level 7, like for example, Diabellstar, which I'm also playing with 3 Wanted, 2 Deception, 1 Hallowed Azamina, and 1 Azamina Debtors. So, like I said, I'm playing this engine so I can play the Omni-Negate Azamina card, as well as get an extra body on the board for the Fiendsmith engine. And Diabellstar being a level 7 means you can also just normal summon her off of Kashtira Birth if you get hand trapped too many times. However, ideally what you want to do is you want to go Fenrir, get Unicorn, send Fenrir to the graveyard with this, send this to the graveyard with the continuous spell, to put this in your hand. Then you play the Unicorn, you get off Fenrir, get Birth, get back Fenrir, and then you can go into either your Negates or your Searcher to go to the Fiendsmith cards. This card obviously is how you gives you more access to the Diabellstar engine. And if you have both copies of this somehow, or you just want to get more cards like hand traps, you can use this to shuffle this back in your deck and draw a card. This is obviously our Polymerization, which, by the way, I didn't realize till last week that this card could fuse multiple times a turn, which made this deck a lot stronger than how I was playing it before. So what you can do is you can use this, make the Searcher, and then if you can get it back into rotation, you can then make either the Negate on your own turn or the removal card on your opponent's turn. And this is basically this, but on the opponent's turn. So ideally what you want to do is get the Negate up on your own turn, protect your board, then your opponent's turn, you get this out, pop their monster, then your turn, use its effect to recycle one of your Azamina cards. So that's our first 2 engines, and the final engine we run in this deck is of course Fiendsmith. So 1 Lurry, 1 Lacrima, 3 Engraver, and 1 Tract. Very standard in this one. You either go Engraver, get Tract, get Lurry to go to your Fiendsmith combo, or you just go, or you use this to go into your Fiendsmith combo. However, now that I have multiple of these, I can now play a rank 6 engine rather than just the Desiree I was playing before, making this deck a lot stronger, because putting up an early DDD King helps Nibiru proof this deck, which is really important. Also, by the way, just a tip for you guys, if you want to get your hands on Engravers, definitely try to get some of the foreign ones. They're a lot easier to get your hands on. And the rest of this is non-engine. So hand traps, 3 Imperm, 3 Veiler, 3 Ash, and we're also playing 2 Ogre and 2 Drolls, which I'm playing the Drolls partly for their effects, but mostly as a target for this, because with Diabellstar and Kashtira doing a lot of searching, Droll is the worst card to see against this matchup. So running this gives me more ways to out it, which I'm also playing Call by the Grave. If you wanted, you could cut the Diabellstar engine down a bit, like maybe cut one of each of the starters to play more hand traps, because opening too many Diabellstars is pretty bad, I'm not going to lie. But I'm liking this ratio. Moving on to the extra deck, for the Azamina cards, we have one of this guy, who I'm not going to try to pronounce because his name is absurd, 1 De Silva, and 1 Ricalio, I think I pronounced it. So Ricalio is our Searcher, gives us access to the Diabellstar cards when it's summoned, so you can get Debtors or get a Wanted for a draw. The silver is an Omni Negate, it's sent to the graveyard, which means you can then be used to recycle your fusion spell. And this is the card we get off Debtors, because not only can it recycle your Azamina and Sinful Spells cards, but when it's summoned, it sends a card to the graveyard, giving you another piece of removal on the opponent's turn. Fiendsmith, again, fairly standard. 1 Requiem, 1 Sequence, 1 Moon in case we can't get our Fiendsmith cards in the main deck, 1 Princess to get our rank 6s, like Caesar, and 1 Desiree for the negated. So, depending on the scenario, you either make this to stop a Nibiru, or if they haven't got a Nibiru, you make this for extra negates. And finally, we have 1 Chaos Angel. Going second can be better than this sometimes with the Fiendsmith package, because it's removal and a massive body. And then we have the rank 7 engine we use the Kashtira cards with, which is 1 Flare Metal, 1 Draco Stack, and 1 Big Eye, which I borrowed for the event. And with these rank 7s, we also play a Zeus. I played Red Eyes mostly for time reasons, but something I realised in my last game last night on Tuesday is this card is actually amazing against Malice, because all their cards cost you life points to use, so adding on an extra 5 points of damage can actually drain their resources late game. Draco Sack, mostly just here to put boys on the board for things like this, but it can also be used to pop monsters and then go into Zeus. And Big Eye is there to take away cards you don't want in the graveyard, and then gives you again more access to linked fodder. So that's the main extra. I'll do the sideboard very quickly here. Triple D-Barrier and triple Lancia for Raziel and Malice. These are just the auto wins against those decks. Triple Lava Golem for the more rogue matchups, like they'll put a lot of boys on the board. 3 Nibiru, which I will admit I'm very iffy on, because unless you draw a way out to take this off the field, it does clash with your Kashtira cards, so I may change this at some points. And finally 3 Evenly Matched, because it's the best way to work on board right now. I think one thing I might change is to just replace this with something like a Ghost Spell or something like that for Fiendsmith Mirrors. So yeah, this deck took me to a very good finish last time, and I think the engines work really well together to both recycle the resources and just put a decent board up. Thank you all for watching, and another video will be out very soon. Have a good one. Thank you, man.